Welcome to today's episode of A to Z. Today we are in Atlanta, Georgia, where we are speaking to Charles Berko, who is the CEO of Berks Concepts. He's putting together Ghana Music Festival, which is happening in 3 different cities and states here in the US. Stick and stay. We'll be right back. So welcome back. Charles, so tell us, what is Berks Concept? When did this start? How did this come about? And what are some of the things you've been doing over the period?
So Berks Concepts actually came about in the early years of 2008 in America. So I've been around for going on almost 19-20 years. But my main focus when I started the business was to actually help grow Ghana music in the diaspora. So all I focused was promoting Ghana music, even in the clubs. I go to the clubs, I pay DJs to play Ghana music. You know, these are stories that never come out. So that's the back machine we used to actually do. So most of the DJs, even in Atlanta, actually know me for that. Either I'm actually paying you to play Ghana music or pay to play my artist music. So that is where we started. And then I actually got into doing events. I'm more so very experienced in doing big stage concerts. I'm not so into those small stuff. I like the big stage concerts. That was what I used to do. So the artist tours, the promotions, and then I'm actually reducing in the concerts and actually focusing on festivals more. So currently we're actually doing a lot of festivals. There's a lot of festivals that actually are under my belt. Some I actually own 100%, some are actually partner, and some are actually also manage for other people. So that is Berks Concept in a nutshell. So outside of that, I've actually diverted it in a way where I have a Caribbean festival, have an Afrobeat festival, and then the Ghanaian oriented festivals as well. Yeah.
Good. I mean, even before we get to the festivals, you didn't mention that you had to pay DJs to play Ghanaian music. But I feel that now African music has gotten global audience, and so sometimes the music is something that people are already demanding. Do you still pay to promote Ghanaian music, or has the dynamics changed?
So the dynamics has changed because at least the introduction of Afrobeats has helped some of the DJs also expanded their horizon music-wise. So it got to a point where now when I enter the place, they know to play Ghana music automatically, just because I'm there, right? So that is what is happening now. So now I don't really have to pay somebody to play. It's just me being there. I'm not so much a club person. So most of the time, if I go to the clubs, it's for a reason. And most of the time, people know 30 minutes I'm out. So within that 30 minutes, trust me, have DJs that will see me just play Ghana music all throughout while I'm there, and then when I leave, because of all that we did prior to that. So now, Afrobeat doing its own thing. I think the Ghanaians are also matching up to some of the standards. So their BPMs, their music, their content, their messages are in line with some of this Afrobeats music from Nigeria. So basically, the DJs are forced to play it in accordance to what they're playing. So at least, let's say, we've planted a good seed and it's actually going. I think the artists are also doing their own, their best to actually also get through the market that way. So now we don't have to go pay. It's just that now they are listening to it, they are hearing it, they are seeing the people responding to it. So now they are adding it to their playlist. So that's how the music is right now. So that is how it is. Me actually, apart from just I have events where I actually play 100% Ghana music. I don't care who you are. And people know me for that. Something like Ghana Summer Jam. You will never come to Ghana Summer Jam and hear any type of music. You can hear Ghana gospel music. When we run out of music, we're playing Ghana gospel music. Even independence. Ghana Independence celebrations, when I do it, I do that in 6 states a year. That's the Ghana Music Month. You will never hear Nigerian music. You never hear any Afro-piano, nothing. It's just 100% Ghana music. And that's how we've actually been able to activate it. Yeah.
I mean, you've sort of mention some of the gigs that you've been doing, but tell us into detail some of the events you've been doing, the annual ones, those which are coming up as well.
So I'll start from the beginning of the year. My whole calendar is made of a lot of events. So the beginning of the year, which is in March, I have the Ghana Music Month. So in view of celebrating Ghana independence, as people are doing the independence events, parties, and everything. We took it as a whole big month, the whole month. So we actually travel with my team. We actually go to like six states, and we just go. So all we do in every state we go, we do 3 days. We do the Welcome to Gold Coast. We do the what you call it? We do the Back to 1957 concert.
In which states?
In every state. So let's say we go to Worcester, go to Houston, we go to Dallas, we go to let's say we go to DC, we go to even in Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? We actually do Chicago, like different. Every state we choose.
So it's the same name but in different cities.
So it's Back to 1957, and then the theme itself is back to Ghana Music Month. Right, so the Back to 1957 celebration, that's what it is. So the Friday, Saturday, Sunday is a full Ghana takeover in the cities. We do the Friday Welcome to Gold Coast, Back to 1957 concert on the Saturday, and then we do the High Life Agogo on Sundays. That's where we do the live band High Life music. You know, so that is actually, so the whole weekend we cut across every age in the cities. So the young ones, the old ones, the preferences, everything, we cover everything before we leave to the next city the next weekend.
So let's talk about why I'm here, the Ghana Music Festival. I mean, when you were talking and examples you gave, I realized that most of the events you're already doing sort of incorporates these elements of the Ghana Music Festival already in it. So why are you now doing or launching a full Ghana Music Festival? How different is it in terms of format, etc.?
So this is the thing. With Ghana Music Month, it's Ghana Music all right. I have Ghana Summer Jam. That happens in the summertime. That also goes to different states. So we have probably like 4 states, right? That's also just Ghana. I have African Party in the Park that covers the whole Africa. So it is a festival for all Africans, you know. So that also, everything I do is a travel concept. So I don't have to stay in Atlanta and do Atlanta alone. I go to different places. So in a year, I'm able to do 2 or 3, depending on how budget is looking. I have the Bounce Music Festival, which is a Caribbean festival, which I partner with some Caribbeans and one of my other partners. We do that for the Caribbean music. The beauty of that is that we're able to actually incorporate the reggae dance or artists from Ghana. The last time we had Samini come join us with Spice and everybody else. So we've done that. So it's not just done, but then most of the time I focus on Ghana music again because that's my root. And that is what I think that's what I can do to also help expand that genre in the diaspora here. So Ghana Music Festival is literally a continuation of Ghana Music Month. So what happens with Ghana Music Festival is actually blown up to the biggest potential. Now, if Ghana Music Month, we're doing it because of the weather, we try to get smaller venues, try to get smaller places to do it, so that at least we can actually keep people indoors. With Ghana Music Festival, the goal is actually to get it outside. So we have the aspects where the first day we're doing partnership with the universities in the States, that we actually do the B2B, we do the forums, we do all those talks with the patrons and everybody that attends. The Saturday we do the Ghana Music Festival itself. That is actually, even if it's an indoor, it has to be a big stage. It has to be a big location. If it's an outdoor, it has to be in the park. All right. And then the Sunday, we also do the Taste of Africa, the Taste of Ghana, which is also displaying Ghana food, Ghana everything, including the high life also. So basically, it's the Pro Max of Ghana Music Month, basically, right? So let's say Ghana Music Month is a teaser to the festival. Yes.
All right. So walk us through what the calendar is looking like.
So we actually going to be in Worcester, in Dallas, and then in Atlanta. The grand event is actually in Atlanta. It's just because over here is Atlanta is actually an entertainment state, so we are very open and we have all the amenities to actually support what we want to do with the other states. So Worcester, so we will start from Dallas. Dallas, we're also going to do the concert and also do the forum aspect of it. But what is going to happen is it's going to be a different setup for the forum. Okay. But then the Saturday, that is the music festival itself. So that's where we have all the artists, the bands, the troops come to one venue, perform for everybody. All right. And then the Sunday, that is going to be the Taste of Ghana. Also the same way, we have food vendors, different food from different regions of Ghana, and also have a live band. The live band that is going to perform for that night, for that day. So it's also a daytime event. Now the only nighttime event is going to be the Friday and the Saturday in every state. Because the Friday probably will start in the evening, being in the forum from maybe 4 o'clock to 9 p.m. And then the concert is going to actually also start from, let's say, from 9 or 8 p.m. to like when we are tired. So that is the full dynamics of the program. And then everything is going to repeat in every state. So we take the same concept from Dallas to Worcester and then to Atlanta. Yes.
But the lineup might change.
The lineup will not change.
Okay.
The only lineup that might change is the forum aspect, because some of the dignitaries that we're actually bringing on board are not going to be available for the first one and the second one because of duties. So they are committing to the final, which is going to be the one in Atlanta. So the lineup in Worcester might be different, but then still prominent people to fill the gap. The lineup in Dallas will change, be the same line, and then in Atlanta, that's where all the elements are going to, all the powers are really going to be in play.
So give us the dates for the various cities, and perhaps you can also mention who are some of the artists and guests we should expect.
So when it comes to what do you call it? Dallas is going to be the first one. So Dallas is actually the May 9th to the 11th. So May 9th to the 11th, we do Dallas. And then Worcester is going to be the 23rd. I think the 23rd to 25th of May. And then Atlanta is going to be the 30th May to 29th May to the 1st of June. So basically, we're trying to occupy a whole month, but then I think the overall footage is going to be the 1st of the month. Yes. Also talking about big names involved, we actually have the president of music, Mr. Simon, actually on board, who's actually also going to be part of the forum. We have the deputy minister for arts and culture, that is Honorable Jaja. He's also going to be out here. We have members of the CNC, that is the Center for I think the National Culture. Yes. We also have the I think the CNC or CCN. So it's all culture people who also this week actually engaged the Ministry of Tourism too. That is also going to be on board. We have GBC that is also coming on board. We have the United Nations Industrial Team, Caucus, actually bringing in vendors from Ghana to also be exhibitors to this. So it's actually a big situation going on. I'm not, me per se, for once I've never been ready, So, but I think we're going to be able to educate it as per how we want to do it. Of course, we have people like Ameyaw Debrah that's actually going to help with the media aspect of it. We have GhanaMusic.com that is also going to help. We have I think TV is also in the talks there about a couple of media houses too. We've also engaged some of the MPs. They now come into the office, so I think this is a good look for them to also wet their feet with some of these things outside of Ghana. So this is how we actually move it.
You've been doing these events, Ghanaian events, Afrocentric events for some time now. Some of us back home, when we watch, we are like, the people in America, they are playing. They don't do events that are on grand scale. What are the challenges as somebody who puts together these events, and what can we do together to improve and scale up?
So being in this game for a long time, our challenges as Ghanaian organizers and promoters and even showbiz people is actually getting a good backup. We don't have a backup system. We don't have a good support system when it comes to like even sponsorships. I'll tell you, I've done this thing going on 19 years now. I owe people in this business. I tell you, I owe people, even if it's $1. Okay, even if it's $1,000. I owe people. But 99.9% of the time, it's money out of my own pockets doing it all throughout. There has never been a situation where, Berks, take this and support. No, you can actually apply for some of these, some of these guys who want to see your decks they'll just look at it and put it on the side. So that's been our challenge. There has been no support, there's been no sponsorships. Sometimes we actually find, nowadays, some of these folks actually get some of these sponsors come in, but it's always on a minimum, right? Probably your budget is like 100,000, somebody's giving you $5,000. It's a blessing, right? But again, it can get better, right? So that is the problem we have as organizers here. Versus if I'm doing a Nigerian show, I'll tell you, it's no conversation. You know, somebody even seeing it and seeing that, oh, it's a Nigerian show, they actually will call you, hey, if you need help, let me know. Once you name your help, the help you need, they actually are ready to take. And I have numerous examples. You know what I'm saying? So that is the part. That is the challenge. Also, our artists also become another conversation by itself. Sometimes I don't blame them, but then sometimes I also feel like they could also do better, especially with us not even getting so much support and everything. Somebody will say, oh, if you don't have the money, don't do it. Okay, if you don't do it, nothing happens. I'm somebody I like to take risk, okay, actually, because I feel like if you don't take it, you're going to sit in one spot. But then working with an artist, discussing, hey, let's do this, let's go this route, let's see how we can with each other. No, they want to take their money and go. It's okay, right? I understand that it's business, but it can get better when the artists actually understand. I'll tell you this: I've done Nigerian artists where sometimes even the money they are charging on the regular, that's not what we're actually paying them. Like, they work with you just because they know, okay, it's a fruitful area, let's go explore. You know, I've done an artist, Nigerian, that I'm like, yo, big name, okay? And then they're like, okay, they want such amount. And I'm like, yo, it's too high. Let's see how we can work it out. I get all the logistics done, you come, you promote, let's do this, percentage-wise, let's go on. At the end of the event, they actually had more than what they were charging for. Since then, we've been so close. Right, so now they get my understanding of what is. When it comes to the Ghanaian artists, it's a lot of.
I also feel that there's some element of culture to all of this. Do you see Ghanaians pulling out in their numbers out there to support it happening? For instance, Nigerians, you realize that they have a culture of going out to support their people, and they really show up and bring people along. Do you think that a Ghanaian can say, for instance, I'm performing at the State Farm and Arena, and people will show up?
So far, there's no Ghanaian artist that can sell State Farm. Let's tackle that way. The biggest artist in Ghana right now. Okay, let me not say the biggest. the most active right now. Excuse me to say, and anybody can actually get me wrong, but cannot even sell a 500 capacity place right now as I'm talking to you. Now, maybe.
That is more.
Yes, exactly. But I'm very sure as a media man like you, you can actually check the status right now as we speak. Just look at who's on top. Just get the vivid numbers they are pulling and get back to me. You know what I'm saying? That is how bad it is, right? So sometimes it is not even just because they cannot sell it. It's just because they are not being involved. They think once you book them, go to work, right? On the other side, our competitors, even the artists are also involved in the promotions. Okay, so that way, because again, if I'm bringing 1,000 people, the artists might actually attract 5,000 people, right? The 1,000 people are those who know me, right? So they're going to come for me. Again, among that 1,000 people, I probably might just have like 200 Ghana people. Those 200 people, maybe 70 of them can make it to the event, right? Because the others have different things going on. When the people see it on the artists also being actively promoted now, they can also add to those numbers. But our people don't understand that. Nowadays they're getting it, but then I don't think it's late, but then they still have to up it because it is still affecting our business. So now you have people that are actually doing the same thing I'm doing who have given up. They don't want to do it again, right? As I'm sitting here right now in Atlanta like this, when I look left and right, I cannot say if I say today, okay, yo, I'm diverting into my other businesses, I'm not going to do this showbiz again. Who's going to do it? There's nobody. Everybody else is actually going for the party. It's a Yambo club, Yambo party, Yambo. That's it. Nobody is willing because they've seen how we're suffering, investing money and getting nothing back. It's people that have worked with me and like they've seen the realness of the situation and not they're involved in it. So that is the thing. It has to be an all-round shift. I'll tell you, this State Farm Arena thing you're talking about, it will take 15 to 20 Ghanaian artists to fill it up. Versus our competitors, 1 or 2 is just doing it.
Yeah, but I also feel that it's also, when it comes to Nigerians, for instance, those going to their concert are not just Nigerians and Africans, but they're a collection of other people? Is it because their songs cut across and have a bigger audience and we don't?
Okay. I've said this over and over and again. Ghanaians, we are used for promotional outlets. Especially the Nigerians use us a lot to promote their music. I'll tell you this. There's some music in Nigeria that the Ghanaian know that the Nigerian doesn't know. Now, when we start jamming to it and making noise about it, that's when they latch onto it and they claim it. That's how it's been every time. So, yes, because our music is not crossing a certain type of bar, right? So, it is actually hitting our shows, our events, our festivals and everything. It's not bringing us the numbers versus the other people. The others, when they actually do their shows, everybody, Diamond Platinum does a show, and it's not just Congolese people, it's everybody coming in. It's not Tanzanians only, it's everybody coming in. That's the thing. So once our music meets that thing, then we can actually say, okay, we've reached. But for now, we have a lot of work to do. I'll tell you, see, somebody like Shatawale. I myself know I can do Shatawale show if the Ghanaians say they won't come. I know how many Nigerians I can pull to that show. I know how many Liberians. People outside of that, of our settings, like him. They want to see his shows or whatever it is, right? Now, when you take him away, who else, right? It becomes a conversation. It becomes a conversation. If everybody will follow what he's doing, not giving him so much credit, but again, sometimes what we don't see is some of the things he's doing is working. And it's making some people get his attention. So I have other people from other nationalities asking, oh, when is Shatawale coming? When is Shatawale coming? And that's it. They're not asking about anybody else because they've gotten the reach of it. Versus the others that are also very prominent and doing well, and they're not hitting it. Once they hit it, we're going to be good. But for now, yeah, it's going to be difficult.
You talked about putting together artists so that we can sort of meet a certain threshold. How about, I also see there are a lot of different promoters within the state. How about you also come together, putting together resources, knowledge, and making something big at one time? Is it possible?
This is what I would say. Even in showbiz, there are two sides of it. There's the show face and then the showbiz. Okay. Most of us, and this is the truth, and it hurts. Most of us are doing the show face side of it, right? So when you're doing the show face side of it, you do everything by yourself. You don't involve anybody. You feel like somebody is going to come in. Yes, of course, it's there. You have to be protective. But if you feel like somebody is going to steal your concept, somebody is going to steal your event, so the show face, just for their own name, they just want to do it by themselves. Now, the showbiz ones are suffering because they are using a lot of energy to get them to understand you. Let's come together and do it. There's something actually going on. I'll give you a perfect example. And this is nothing against anybody. There's something that happens in March. Okay. Just in side by side to what we do in March. Okay. But again, we have somebody that is doing Ghanaian stuff. Ghanaian concept. Big concept. And I applaud him for that. Big concept. Very good. All right. I actually called him and tell him, yo, thank you for what you're doing for us. Right. Because again, he's also part of what has brought us here now. Right. But then again, what he's doing would have been very easy for all these Ghanaian promoters and everybody to come together to actually do it even more. Even with his little knowledge about Ghanaian music, look at what he's doing. And with our vast knowledge about it, we could actually do more. But everybody is just, going in busy doing some things, Even if somebody is doing something, just to encourage them. That's a young thing. I think if we break that thing and we understand, we are into business. This is not a play. Yeah, some people actually put some money. Some do one event a year, and that's it. All right. On my side, we do like 10 events a year. You know what I'm saying? And so I cannot compare myself to that kind of person who doesn't even want to come and help or doesn't want to work together. Right? Yes. So that's the only problem. Right? If we're able to come together, all right. As I'm telling you, there are groups. Trust me, some of them that have never even said hi in there. It's just because we tried before and it never worked. And then you keep doing and doing, you keep I've done because now like yo, who are from self floor. You know what I'm saying? But I think once we all get it that yo, let's come together. Like this Ghana Music Festival, you were still there, I called you. I could have said like, oh, I'm here, oh Ghana make us know. Did I know you would be here? If you are sitting here, if I didn't spark that conversation, right? So it takes a phone call. Yo, bro, I know you do this. Can you help me do this? Okay, in return, because I might need you today, tomorrow you might need me. Okay, me, like I always say this thing I didn't learn from anybody. I'm a natural, right? So being a natural, trust me, I see the mountains and I climb. I see the rivers and I swim. I'm trying to break it because at the end of the day, I'm not seeing what you're seeing. You learning it, you know what I'm saying? So if I combine my power, you bring your power. It becomes very big. But if not, we're just going to be in one bubble, just going different directions.
So, I mean, we've said a lot of things, so much to unpack here. But do you have any final words?
Well, my final words is to the Ghanaians in the diaspora, right? It is not just about Berks Concepts, right? Anybody that does Ghanaian stuff, we need to break the barrier. We need to go support. Let's stop thinking about what the organizer is going to get. But sometimes they put in a lot more than what they even get, even if it's monetary, right? They're not making enough. But you just being there, because sometimes we can actually have a room, 200 or 2,000 people, and we're still not making the money back. But just seeing the people there is enough encouragement, right? So encourage these promoters, these showbiz guys, these organizers to do more, to also invest. Also encourage it in a way where we actually get some support from stakeholders and investors and everything. That way we can also reach where our colleagues have gotten to. Apart from that, I think there's more room for improvement. So both artists, organizers, media men, I don't talk about gatekeepers, the arts and crafts departments. Let's all come together and work this out.
Charlie Beex, thanks so much. I totally enjoyed this conversation with you. So there you have it, Ghana Music Festival in the US, happening in 3 different cities. So make sure that you check out the dates and drive all the way. If you're close by any of these cities, or book a flight, show up in your numbers this summer, and let's have fun. I might be there. Come out to support. See you same time next time. Bye-bye.